Modern art of Kazakhstan, from idea to realization, for the faces and details that usually remain behind the scenes, what inspires artists, what is their creation process, on what artists and poets, musicians and playwrights reflect upon, how do they present themselves to the world, how do they express the essence of their era. Together with Carmine Barbaro, we immerse into the world of creative search, into an atmosphere of trial and error, discoveries and revelations.
The art of photography, this is the topic that is especially close to me, and which I have long wanted to tell about. Kazakhstan can be proud of the long and glorious history of photo achievements of its enthusiastic photographers. They occupy high places in international competitions and exhibitions. What distinguishes the masterpiece from everyday life? And how often does the camera click today? We learn from the famous Almaty photographer Valery Korinchuk. The exhibition is called Balinese Motifs, or Three Views of the Island of the Gods. Three views, because the three authors are myself, my daughter and my son-in-law. Our son-in-law is very intelligent. He received a very good photographic education at the University of Jakarta and later at the University of the United States, specializing in art photography. And my daughter and I are dilettante in the full sense of the word, because neither in the Soviet Union nor in Kazakhstan no one taught photography. Ivan sometimes can even see virtual art made from photographic elements. Olga has a clean picture. She does not interfere in directing or doing anything. Only the choice of the moment and means of expression, aperture, exposure and depth. In my opinion, photography is a stop instant. This is how it is. Yes, but at the same time, to transform it and somehow include it in the world of art. Almost everyone now takes photos except for infants. The number of photographic devices is 1.5 times larger than the number of residents of Kazakhstan. This is about 20 million photographic devices. Not just cameras, but also smartphones and other devices. Up to the point that there can be found earrings, brooches, watches with cameras. It seems to be just a toy, but it is able to take pictures, and sometimes of a fairly good quality. According to the theory of probability, even if just standing on the corner and always taking pictures, clicking the shutter, paying no attention to anything, and even closing your eyes, there is still a chance that in a month or two there will be a photo that corresponds to all the masterpieces of masterpiece. But the comrade who will shoot, he will not choose this photo, because this concept of a masterpiece and about photography is completely absent. Now around 3 million photographic devices click in the world somewhere in a second. This is a lot. About a decade ago, some of them were still printed. Now it is not printed yet. Now they are stored in virtual forms on disks, disk drives, flash drives, and other digital media. Everyone believes that he bought a camera, and it can be very cool and expensive. For example, with more than 10 megapixels, or 15,000 and 45,000. And they think that the results will be better. Alas, this is not so. One must study art, not only photographic art, but generally the fine arts that existed. Even music influences the creativity of the photographer. What is art, and how does the work of art is different from not a mediocre stuff? Between there is a fine line. Suddenly, you look even at the photos, you look, and then you come back to just one. For example, look at the whole exhibition, and then you come back to this one again. Then if you remember this exhibition, you remember it again. Why? Well, in the film Fan Fan Tulip, it was said, "When I look at you, Fan Fan, my heart freezes." Here too, the same thing happens here. In addition to creativity, Valery Korinchuk devotes much time to teaching and enlightenment work. He teaches photography at the university. He reads a course of lectures on the history and theory of photography at the Kosteyev Museum. These classes are attended by those who would like to hear about interesting facts that relate to the time when the world's first camera was invented. As they say, their first hands learn about the history of Kazakhstani photography and also improve your skills to create high-quality photographs. The amateur photographer will see something somewhere, a new book, he will buy it, read from cover to cover, and dozens of others. Yes, he will even start setting up a photo lab in his own bathroom, so that it can be done while the wife does not do laundry. He can print there. Therefore, amateur photographers gave part of their soul and most of their time to study photo art. And the results were good, but it took a long time. Valery Dmitrievich generously shares his secrets, which he himself found out during his almost half-century career as a photographer with all interested people. To see, choose this moment, somehow already at the stage of the camera click, to determine both the cropping and the depth of field, and most importantly, the moment when you press the button. They seem to be side by side. One clicks, but it turns out ordinary. And the other has a great photo. Does not fall in the moment. Henry Cartier-Bresson called it the art of the decisive moment. He pressed the button when before this moment, while the mechanical connection was transmitted along the chain and the bolt was opened, this moment took place. At the end of our meeting, I, taking advantage of the happy opportunity, could not help asking the famous master to take a few pictures. I am sure that Valery Korenchuk and his fellow photographers from Kazakhstan will surprise the public with their new interesting works more than once. Your Kazakh Italian, Carmine Barbaro.